on the week, a certain Mr. Donald Trump said, don't even bother sending your aircraft carrier to the Middle East because the war will probably be over by the time you get there, which, when I've assessed it, sounds a bit like it's, Putin levels of rhetoric. Isn't he like 4 years into a 2-week campaign, Putin, at the moment like that? Yeah. So Trump is learning from his... I don't want to say protege because it's the other way around. Trump is Putin's protege, isn't he? He's learning from him. But the Americans do know a thing or two about joining the war late, so they might be on to something there. And honestly, the real answer is just not to play at all. And in more upbeat news, it is International Women's Day. It is also my birthday today, which, as we all know, is a gift to women everywhere.
We've had birthday cake, haven't we?
That count as a gift to women everywhere, does it? But one of the things I've noticed is as you get older, birthdays become less important, do they? And I've decided I'm going to change that because I want to bring some of the joy and brilliance back into birthdays. So I've decided the plan for my 40th when it comes round, which is scarily close now, right? The plan for my 40th is I'm going to eat my body weight in cake and go out in a diabetic coma. What would you think to that one?
Doesn't sound good.
Well, why does that not sound good? It sounds better than some of the other options out there. Last week, we asked you a bit of a weird and wonderful question, didn't we? We asked, what run-of-the-mill thing really gets your goat? There's a question and a half, isn't it? Yeah, and a few of you have been in touch.
Yeah, Daniela, a minor inconvenience that often frustrates me, and I can actually relate with this, is when computers require an update, particularly when I'm in a hurry to complete an important document. Now, with me, for some reason at work, the last couple of weeks, we've been getting loads and loads and loads of updates. Just when you think they can't possibly offer you another update, a BIOS update will appear, and you just think, right, so... You do it all. Literally took about an hour to get all the updates done.
Sounds about right.
So you do them, you get them out of the way. And then the biggest mistake I make is, when you can get the opportunity to snooze it. So you snooze it and you forget you snoozed it. And then you go to shut down at the end of the day. And it's, please do not switch your computer off. Updates are now installing. And it's 1%. 10 minutes time, it's like 3%. And you're like, oh, for God's sake, I've got... turn it off, lock it away. Every time I do it to myself, I shouldn't stall them. I should just do them. Yeah,
I know what you're saying, but I've got a theory of computers that I think is held out for an alarming number of years. Because I'm sure you've heard, Moore's Law, where, it's doubles in power every year, whatever it is, right? Marc's law of computing is very simple. It doesn't matter how fast or how powerful or how exciting computers get, you will spend exactly the same amount of time you are in 1995 as 2025 sitting there waiting for things to happen.
Yes.
It could be updates. It could be, doing calculation, whatever it is. You will spend exactly the same amount of hours and time. The computer is ridiculously fast now. We're at a point where your mobile phone could go to Mars and back if it wanted to, right? It would need a few rockets attached to it, but there's more than enough juice in that thing to do that, right? There's more than enough power. But we'll still be sitting there waiting for it to do an update at some point.
Do you know also, when you get that used to waiting for something to load?
Yeah.
Have you ever had it where something's actually loaded straight away and you find yourself sitting there looking at the screen and then thinking, oh, no, it's opened. Our spreadsheet's opened or something.
I get suspicious that something has happened that shouldn't have. And on that note, Louise has dropped us a voicemail.
Good morning, beautiful Sooty, and happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
It's a lovely sunny day here, and I hope it is where you are, and you're managing to catch some sun puddles.
She's trying.
I've been thinking about the most mundane thing ever, and for me, it's dusting.
Yeah.
It's mundane because as soon as you've dusted, the dust is back, and it's so boring. So I just thought I'd share that thought with you. So enjoy yourself, and I'll catch you on a wee natter. Bye.
The only problem with that, Louise, is you've just reminded me I've got some dusting to do. And you've just reminded me how hopeless it is. So you're putting me off doing the dusting I need to get done. I don't know what I should do now. If you were to ask us what the remit of this show is, it's to stave off the Sunday scaries.
Yes.
It's to make you enjoy the last little eking out bit of the weekend. which is why we try not to concentrate on things like the fact we're getting older. But I've just seen a message coming in from Sally Ann saying, went to Vegas for my 50th. It's my 60th birthday in 2 years.
Time just goes, doesn't it?
It's kind of alarming like that. You start going, oh yeah, that was just it. Oh no, wait, it's a couple of decades, not years ago.
Yeah.
And more those things happen as time goes on. It's kind of a bit scary. And I've just seen another message coming in from Sandra on a slightly different note, talking about pet hate, saying ironing is a pet hate.
Yeah, you quite like ironing, don't you?
I don't like ironing. I do it because I have to. 99% of the time I don't bother. I wear T-shirts. Nobody irons a T-shirt and nobody starches a T-shirt either. That's just wrong. But ironing itself, it's one of those chores where I don't run away from it, but I don't celebrate it either. It's kind of in the middle. And Alfie's saying hoovering for me, not hovering, hoovering.
Hovering.
He's
like a bit of hover.
written hovering, and I misread it. Okay, so we'll claim he wrote hoovering. We'll run with that. Hoovering for me, because hovering would be quite a lot of fun, I imagine, for the first couple of days, and then you get sick of it.
Less bother with a hover.
Less bother with hover. Hoovering for me, as I generally get the cable wrapped around my feet and nearly break my neck.
Or you need a Dyson or one of these thingy ones. Cordless.
I will tell you from experience, that doesn't always help you, because I have been doing the stairs, falling backwards down the stairs.
Yes.
And somehow didn't hit anything on the way down and just felt a little bit sore at the end of it.
Yeah.
I do not recommend that if you want a cracking weekend. But if you're looking for a bit of pain in your life, it can work. It's an option. And if we wanted to continue on the topic of pain, a piece of news broke this week that you're going to have to brace yourself for it, right? It is a really big deal. But the price of stamps has now reached, or will soon reach, £1.80 for first class.
Just for one stamp?
Just for a single first class stamp letter.
Thing is, I'm a bit upset now because I like to send cards, for birthdays and Christmas and things.
You're a bit old fashioned.
I like to get a card as well.
Right, so the question I'm going to pose here is, what other ways could you send a letter that would cost less? £2 a pop is ridiculous.
It's stupid now.
So it's got me wondering, what other ways could we get letters across the country? How much does it cost to train up a carrier pigeon?
How much is recorded delivery now? Because I'm sure that used to be £1 something. Maybe we just send everything recorded delivery.
I assume everything's crept up in price relatively. So we're going to have to get a bit clever. Maybe you buy a whole bunch of bus passes for your letters and you just strap your bus pass to your letter and say, driver, take that down the road. drop it off at number 7 on the high street. Do you think they do that?
Nice. That's quite sad in a way, isn't it? Because it could put card shops out of business if people can't afford to send them anymore.
Well, the funny thing is the cards have got cheaper while the stamps have got more expensive.
15p now.
Yeah, so it's like 10, 15p a pop for the card, and it costs you, what? Almost £2. £2.
Enough £2 to send it.
So 20 times the price? It's broken. So I want to hear your ways of sending a letter that does not involve a stamp, because it's ridiculous. That is way, way, way too much. £1.80 is just... I can't bring myself to accept spending £1.80 on a single letter.
The thing is as well, you buy them in bulks as well. You can't buy a single stamp, can you? Unless you go to a post office. But if it like supermarkets and stuff, if you buy them as part of your shop, don't you have to buy a book of 10?
Yeah, so that's £18 just to buy your book of stamps. Absolute madness. It's a wee natter where I've just seen a text message coming in from Vicky saying, good evening, I'm listening tonight on one of the radio stations, and happy International Women's Day to everyone. Indeed, we are celebrating by doing nothing special. I think are we supposed to do something? I don't want to pick at it, because International Women's Day has been a thing for a long time, right? And it's raising awareness of some very important issues. But it's suddenly becoming front and centre. It's only happened in the last couple of years, hasn't it?
I think so.
It was always talked about as a little bit of a throwaway thing, or, it's something the UN are doing. You were never hearing all the big celebration that all the businesses are doing nowadays to make themselves look all connected and up and modern and things like that. It's just come out of nowhere. I've no idea how it suddenly changed on that. And on top of that, we are pretending to be a knockoff edition of the money-saving expert. We're not particularly good at the money-saving bit, nor are we experts, but we're asking about, the fact a stamp costs £1.80. It costs almost £2 to send a letter. What are your tips for sending things? Pond Life is saying, I sent special delivery. It cost me $9.99.
$9.99?
So that is off the cards. That's not an option anymore. It's £6 for recorded delivery, apparently.
Is that what it is now? £6?
Yeah. Sandra's got a nice little tip.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't bother.
Write the address on the back and put return to sender. So you scrub it out and you have an old stamp on it. That is genius.
I love it.
I love that idea. And I wonder how many times you could batter it back and forth before the postie realises, hang on a minute, I've seen this before. Alfie points out you can buy a sheet of stamps online at the post office website. I had a look. Mm-hmm. They're asking for ridiculous sums of money, £1.70 a stamp at the moment or something like that, which ties into Cheryl's idea of buying the stamps before the price goes up. Which, that sounds like a brilliant plan, but now they've got those barcodes on them, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they only last a certain amount of time.
Is my book of stamps still valid? I've got 2 left.
Well, so long as they've got a barcode, they're fine. But I assume at some point they'll turn around and go, hang on a minute, you've got to use them within about 3 or 5 years. I don't give it long before they start doing little tricks like that. Where we're still talking about the postal service, as WAP points out, letters come late to my house at birthdays. Mm-hmm. I send them 3 weeks before. I know what you're on about there. It's sort of a weird thing that's happened in the last few years.
Yes.
Where you'll get no post for weeks on end.
Yes.
Absolutely nothing coming through the door. Even if it's got like an incredibly tight deadline. Nothing will turn up. And then suddenly, like a month's worth of post just gets dumped on your doorstep.
It does, yes.
I've no idea why that's happening, but it keeps happening over and over. And it's really annoying when people send you things. It's like, okay, we're going to send you details of an appointment. By the time I get it, appointment's been and gone. Yeah. Absolutely useless. But there you go. I assume it's because they just don't have the resources at the post office. You know how sometimes you say something without thinking about it? I said the words during that last song. Oh, we've had a couple of tips coming in. Like we're going to be talking about, you want a back muffin and meal at the 3:30 at Cheltenham. No, it's the fact that you can tip this show and help support the show and keep our cat in God knows the amount, how big that mountain of treats is now. It's ridiculous.
And me in chocolate.
And Jenny in chocolate, yep. So I've got to say thank you very much to Sandra Owens, Anne L76 and BG Cat 31. Your contributions are, we're grateful for them. I think that would be the way we word it, wouldn't it?
Yes.
If you've kept your ear to the ground or just generally been alive the last couple of years, you'll have heard all about how artificial intelligence is taking over the world. But there is something it is really struggling with. What do you think that is? Any ideas?
You're asking the viewers, the listeners, or you're asking me?
I'm asking anyone. I'm even asking the artificial intelligence gods that are probably listening to this now, consuming this, thinking, oh, this might be good. No, it's not good entertainment.
I'm not understanding you.
Not understanding it. It's to do with understanding, and it's to do with words. So it's not to do with accents. Yeah. It's to do with words. And apparently, words like chuck and pet and duck, it can deal with that. Yeah. Because it accepts it's a term of endearment. So if it's a...
Can it really deal with duck? Does it know duck? Does it not think it's like a bird?
I'm sure if you type or eat duck into the AI, I'm sure it figures out what you mean. It can get around that. It can understand it. But some words it really struggles with are things like canny. Oh, that's pure canny, man. Like from up in the northeast.
The northeast, yeah.
We all know what it means, but apparently artificial intelligence goes, what is this word canny? What is this nonsense? What are you talking about here? And the other word it struggles with is nout.
Note.
Or bairn.
I've got note.
I've got nout.
I say that. But I don't think that's like a Nottingham slang word, is it? But I do say note.
Or you're chuffed. Or, the one that apparently really struggles with is bairns, which is a Scottish word. And you're going to, where you've got to buy briefs for the bairns.
Briefs for the bairns.
You know what I mean by briefs for the bairns?
Briefs. Pants.
Yes. And apparently it also struggles with a jip.
A jip?
As in painful or nagging. Oh, it's giving me a bit of jip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's giving me jip. Yeah.
And understanding that wee means small, not just what comes out of the wee thing downstairs.
So it's accents.
It's not so much accents, it's the words it's struggling with. Because the only problem I've got with this, right, is somebody's trying to teach the artificial intelligence all this colloquial language and all the accents and things like that. The problem is the artificial intelligence is taught by showing it media and clips and things like that from years gone by. It's going to pick up all the offensive stereotypes like, calm down, I've got some car stereos for you.
And co-ed and all of that.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
What about the London slang? All the apples and pears and going around calling everybody, leave it out, you slag. Can you imagine the AI calling everybody a slag? You slag.
You slag.
I think that's great.
If artificial intelligence starts calling me a slag, something's going sideways.
Am I still on it?
I think you are at the moment. But it's got me wondering, is artificial intelligence going to get to the point where it is able to replicate any British dialect across the country? And I think the real test of that is going to be Doric, which is Doric is a dialect in the northeast of Scotland. It is based on English. I use the word loosely, very loosely, by the way. It's the sort of thing that, my granddad used to speak coming from that part of the world. And any time I picked up the phone to him and spoke to him, I had to slowly translate in my head like I was talking to, a foreign language before I was able to speak back to him and understand, oh, you're just asking how I am. He's got fit like.
Oh.
As in, what are you like?
Yeah.
If it manages to nail Doric, then we're in trouble. Not to be confused with Jericho missiles. That was a wedding party that I'll never live down. Then Jericho, big area on a wee natter. We were talking about dialects and artificial intelligence struggling with them, and just seeing a message coming in from Alfie saying some Scots you can understand, but some you haven't got a cat in hell's chance of understanding, as we found out after moving up here. Oh yeah, you're dead brilliant, man.
Yeah, well, your ex-brother-in-law was like that.
Yeah, he was a bit Ouija man, wasn't he?
Yeah, all your family would look at me and they'd say, you don't understand what he's saying, do you? And you'd sit there nodding politely and hope you're saying yes in the right places. But to say he was also from Dunfermline like you, he sounded like he was from Glasgow.
It was pure bro man, wasn't it?
I didn't get him.
It sounded like almost the archetypal Ned. I've no idea where it came from. Also, PG Vert One Cat saying some Geordie accents are hard to understand. As for Northern Ireland and Ireland, hysterical. Yes. On a more upbeat note, rather than visiting all the possible dialects in Britain we could, although it's kind of weird, if we're talking about dialects and accents, you go all the way out to Norfolk, and then you go all the way out to the other side into the West Country, and they sound a bit similar to each other, don't they? And it's kind of weird. It's almost like you wrap around as you come around the edge of the... Like you suddenly transport from one end to the other and you do never touch the bit in the middle. So if you've never noticed that before, you're now going to notice it every time you hear those accents now.
We haven't got an accent. That's what they say. Nottingham doesn't have an accent.
They say it doesn't have an accent. You're not exactly RP.
We sound like, common, I think.
This is the
I sound a bit common.
You're not sound like this. This is the BBC. You're not sounding like that. So there is a bit of an accent there. The way I'd describe the Nottinghamshire accent, and it depends how far north in
Nottinghamshire.
Nottinghamshire.
No, I don't like it when people say, when people get on the bus, I don't really get irritated by things, but what irritates me big style is when people can't say Nottingham, return Nottingham. There's no such place as Nottingham. It's Nottingham. Nottingham. Say it properly. Nottingham.
Well, however far north you go in the Shire of Nottingham.
Yes.
You find the accent is more or less Yorkshire. So towards the very tippy top. So when you're in somewhere like Worksop, it's Yorkshire in all but name.
They say you're eat.
You're eat. You come to Mansfield, it's tamed off a bit, but it's still got that Yorkshire twang.
My dad used to call people lads and lasses. He was from Mansfield, my dad. You say, all right, old lass.
And then as you come further south, it keeps taming off and off and off.
Yeah.
Until you're leaning almost into the Leicester accent. As you cross the boundary. Yeah, honestly, if you've never visited Nottinghamshire.
Come on, get it right. You're going to talk about Nottingham, at least pronounce it correctly.
At least I've heard of half the places around here. That's what I'm going with. Alfie, Peach Veron Cat saying, it brought a couple of people saying the Cornish accent's quite difficult.
Yes.
Argonauts saying, I don't think Nottinghamshire has an accent, but there's a lot of slang.
Yes, there is. I mean, I think when I lived on the South Coast for a while, and I used to come back and visit like my mum and dad, and you'd go on the bus into town and you'd hear people talking and you'd sit there and think, oh, wow, did I really used to sound like that? And then you get back into it because I don't say like, my name's Jenny, isn't it? But if I was talking to somebody whose name was also Jenny, I'd say Jenny. We do the ne on the end.
All right, Jenny.
You're
not far off the Dundee ETP thing. You're kind of in that, you're just giving up on some of the vowels. Can't be bothered with it properly, you know. Also, you'd see message saying, from Alfie saying, I originate from northwest Leicestershire, so got a South Derbyshire accent. Yeah, they're in that sort of... You sound like you come from that muddly area where I genuinely couldn't draw the borders. They're all sort of one mush zone in the middle. Is that where
we've all been knocking around this weekend? Like Cornwall, Melbourne, where else have we been
Ashby
to?
de la
Ashby
Zouch.
de la Zouch.
Yeah, it's all that sort of mushy zone where I couldn't tell you where the boundaries are.
We're looking for a pretty little place, aren't we, Mark? Pretty little village.
Yes, I think you're trying to convince me to move house. Which would be wonderful because it'll cut my commute down now.
Well, that's why we're doing it. Well, we're trying.
Yeah, there are other reasons. And PG Fairlawn Cat does point out that Leicester does have a funny accent. It does indeed. What we ought to do. So you know how shows go on tour? Right.
Are we going on tour?
I think we could genuinely do it. We might have to get rid of the music and, fill a bit more with some more news stories and funnies and things like that, right? But Leicester is a comedy festival. So does Edinburgh and things like that. We could turn up and do a show there.
We could do the Edinburgh Fringe.
And then get ourselves in real trouble making fun of whatever the local accent happens to be. So my plan for the tour of Britain is not to visit all the same places everyone else does. It's to visit all the wackiest accents in the country. Just to sample them and see just how bonkers and how different it is. And we'll probably find about 90% of the shows are within 10 miles of each other.
Yeah.
And somewhere in the north. But, just some of the accents in Britain, they're not just wacky, they're beautiful, they're strange, and you can literally travel like 5 miles and they change wildly.
Yeah.
It is unreal. Although I will stress, if you've not heard Doric before, do yourself a favour, try it out. And if you can understand more than about half a sentence of it, you're doing very well. Alfie has just set us an interesting wee challenge saying, No Man's Heath had a pub called the Four Counties, Four Rooms, one county in each room. Can you name them? It's between Measham and Tamworth. So that's got to be somewhere along the 42, right? The A42,
Was
M42.
I on that today?
Yes, you were on that road today. So somewhere along that road between Birmingham and Nottingham. So it's about halfway along there. Every time you're going anywhere across the Midlands, you have to cross Leicestershire and Warwickshire. Anywhere you go, you will. It doesn't matter. You could be going north, south, east, west. Doesn't matter. You will cross Warwickshire and Leicestershire. So I reckon there are 2 of them. And the other 2, you got to be potentially Staffordshire and maybe Derbyshire. It depends how far, because Derbyshire stretches a ridiculous amount of country.
It does, yeah.
But I don't know if it stretches that far south. I'm going to have to look that up and find out how accurate I am. So that's my 4. That's what I'm guessing. You going to throw any guesses?
I'm going to guess the same as you.
You're going to guess
rubbish at geography.
Excellent. We'll go with that then. Maybe that's where we start our tour of the accents. I've just had a thumbs up. Apparently, I'm correct.
I knew you was correct. I was just letting you struggle through with that last bit of Derbyshire.
There we go. I got my very own dingling. Oh, I got to celebrate that. And something else in accents. Jenny is learning a lot about her own accent at this rate. You're learning a lot about Nottinghamshire slang.
Well, I'm not sure how accurate Google is, but anyway, I was just kind of looking at to say some Nottingham slang words just to see if you knew what I was talking about, or if indeed any of the listeners.
Well, you can give us a shot. We'll see how we do for it.
All right then. So, the first word, you tell me what it means, like particularly if you'd say it in a sentence. So if I says to you, "Hey up me duck," what would I mean? What would I be saying to you? I
did learn the hard way that the responses, not the correct response is go whack whack. You do not do that. No. The answer's not bad. It's basically asking how are you. Hey up me duck.
Yeah, hello, friend, like hello, something like that.
I've picked up the A up. I haven't picked up the mid duck yet.
I've never said duck though. I've got to be honest, I haven't. If I said, "Oh, you're being Mardy," what do you think? Oh, if it was a Nottingham slang, it'd be Mardy. But Mardy, what do you think I would be saying to you?
Oh, you're being a bit Mardy, aren't you? It's foul mood, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
I've been told it once or twice.
Now, they're putting this one in, but I don't think this is a Nottingham word,
go on then.
to be honest. But they're saying, if I says, "Oh, I feel a bit nesh," or "You're a bit nesh, aren't you?"
You're a bit nesh. You've been on a night out sesh. No idea.
No, it means you're feeling cold or sensitive to low temperatures. We've never said that in Nottingham. I've never said that in Nottingham.
I can't say I've heard it yet, but I'm sure somebody must say it.
It's one you would have heard of. I'd be disappointed if you didn't know what one was.
Go on.
Cob.
Cob?
Yeah.
As in corn on, no?
No.
It's spelled like corn on. I know what it is.
Go on.
And we're talking about baps, aren't we?
Yeah. It's like a bread roll.
Of all the words I've heard for a bread roll, barm cakes and all that sort of thing, cob is the most absolutely crackers one I've heard in my life. Although admittedly, we call them rolls in Scotland. So you then get into the problem of when you're in the morning.
Sausage roll.
You're asking for sausage roll. Are you asking for the pastry with the sausage in it? Or are you asking...
sausage cob.
Yeah, for sausage in the roll.
Say cob. That's it. You don't have to worry anymore.
One word. That's all you need. Roll. No. Simple.
So, croggy. If I said giz a croggy.
Giz a croggy.
Now, would you know what giz is as well, actually? Because that's one of the other words. I've used that in a sentence. So there's two words there, Mark. Giz a croggy.
Giz is give.
Yes.
As a gizzer.
Yeah, gizzer.
Yeah. Every accent shortens that at some point. Croggy. It's not a knockoff Mr. Blobby, is it?
No, it's a ride on the handlebars of somebody else's bike.
Oh, I know what you're on about. Yeah, I've never heard it called that before.
And then a couple more, tabs. What do I mean by tabs?
It's what you do on a Saturday. No, you don't do it in the pub toilets on a Saturday night. It's your ears, isn't it?
It is. And, youth.
Yep, youth.
Yeah.
Youth. Oh, there's an interesting one. Youth just sounds like the youth, the young.
Yeah, the young. They say it's an informal greeting to a male friend. And I'm telling you, ma'am.
You're going to tell my mum?
I'm telling you. Your mum.
Why would you tell my mum? Honestly.
I'm loving it. But you didn't do too bad there.
And if I'd been cheating, I would have looked at the notes here. As Argonath mentioned, that mesh is cold.
Yes.
And Alpha points out that the pubs on the old A453 before it became the M42 was built, and there's a morning roll or a well-fired roll in Scotland. You come across the well-fired roll?
Well-fired roll? No, I haven't.
It's a roll that's burnt on purpose, and you're buying burnt rolls.
You also sell bread with no crust on. No, you call them heels, don't you?
No, heel's just the end of the roll. The end of the loaf. Yeah, that's all that is.
You call it a heel, we call it a crust.
Yeah, because you're Romans. It's as simple as that. So that is the test of Nottinghamshire. How do you think Nottinghamshire slang? How do you think I did on that one?
I think you did not too bad, to be honest with you.
Okay. What do I need to improve on?
Well, there is a beginner's guide to Nottingham dialect, so we could get you that.
Oh, guess what I'm getting for Christmas this year, isn't it? We're talking dialects and accents. With Argonath saying, here is a Nottinghamshire word, bobbo. Jenny will know what that is.
I know what that is.
What's a bobbo then?
Well, it's the races. Is it next week? The Cheltenham races.
Oh, horse racing. Why would it be called bobos?
I don't know. I remember that. My mum used to say that when we used to go down to Nottingham races, call it races.
And BG Fairburn Cat's got a few Belfast ones. Poke, which can mean a lot of things. Geg. No idea. Banjaxed. I know what that means. I've heard that one a few times. Banjaxed. That's banjaxed, that thing. It's completely shot. It's broken. It's not working.
Ah, right.
Here's me.
Here's me.
I've heard that one once or twice. Somebody's going, yep, that's here's me. I'm off. Baltic, which just means freezing. And Buck Egypt, which is how most people describe me. I'm completely honest. I've got this wonderful thing that's come up on the internet that I think your bosses will love. The headline is quite simple. Employee at Chinese company wins 365 days of paid leave at the annual dinner. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? You turn up, you go to the forced fun. They're always forced fun, these things, right? So you turn up to the forced fun, somehow you walk away with an entire year's worth of annual leave. You're just like, yeah, we'll keep paying you, but you can go take the 365 days off.
That'd be amazing.
I'm going to pitch that one to my bosses. I'm pretty sure they'll go for it. Although knowing them, it'll be, you can have the 365 days off, but without pay.
Yeah.
And then you can have another 365 and another one after that.
Yeah, you're gone.
You're gone, basically. Yeah. It's not going to fly, is it? No. Oh, dear. Going to hit on a little bit of a political topic now, but are you familiar with the bin strikes going on in Birmingham at the moment?
No,
it's quite a complicated thing. It's all falling out of the fact the council doesn't have any money because they got into a hot mess about deciding, everyone needs to have equal pay. Oh, wait a minute. It turns out the bin men who are doing quite a physical job are going to get paid the same as the ladies cleaning the offices. Mm-hmm. And then it's just turned into a hot mess from there. In short, they're taking some money away or they're changing roles, blah, blah, blah. In short, people feel like they're going to be losing money out of it. And in some cases, they probably are. It's a big, complicated mess. The bin strikers have been on strike, or the bin men have been on strike now for about a year.
Wow,
I think it's crept past a year. And off the back of that, they have released a song called Power to the Bin Strikers, Unite for the Workers' Rights. I wish I was making it up. But it's by a group called Banner Theatre. And if I was to ask you to come up with a song to support the bin men that are on strike, because, they're claiming they're going to be losing £8,000 a year, whatever it is, what do you think you would use as your starting point for a song about, just supporting the bin men that are on strike?
I don't know. Any old iron. Of course.
It is based on My Old Man's a Dustman. That's line one thinking. That's not even, you know what, we'll go for something slightly connected. We'll go straight down the middle.
Support the Brummy bin workers, they are out on strike. This bloody Labour Council.
And away it goes from there. Hey! And you can imagine what the rest of the lyrics sound like. Yeah. And, it's all very political and things like that. But I did think it'd be worth a wee listen, because I heard that it was a thing. I'm like, what's... Of all the things to do, releasing a single, almost like a charity single or something like that. Utterly bonkers, right? Okay, fair enough. Let's have a listen to it. And they've gone straight for My Old Man's a Dustman. So you couldn't come up with anything beyond that. It's like, okay, would it be funny? Would it be funny? I don't know why I went to try and sound a bit brummy there. Yeah, I better not do the yam 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 thing. I'll get into real trouble if I do that. We were talking about the bin strikers and the fat in Birmingham and the fact that they've released a single now. Will it be top of the pops? I'm not holding my breath. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. I mean, we got Ding Dong the Witch is Dead when Thatcher passed away, didn't we?
Yeah, but I like Gary. Gary Come Home by the Blossoms.
So you're just going to keep buying more and more copies of that till it gets to the top. Just suddenly, this weird spike in the charts where it just skyrockets up.
Keep an eye out for Gary.
Outdoing all the Taylor Swift fans with whatever she hadn't released in the last 5 minutes. And staying in the West Midlands, Jen Flynn says, love the black country accent. Although you got to be a little bit careful there. Do not confuse black country with Birmingham. You will be found floating in a canal near Birmingham, unalived. You just don't mix these things up. I know they're very similar and very connected, but no. They're very different things, apparently. And talking about very different things, Jenny's got a more upbeat topic for us, hasn't she?
Upbeat, yeah.
More upbeat, yes.
More upbeat. So on Friday, I decided to have a little trip into town, as you do.
As you do, yeah.
And I thought, you know what, let's kickstart my trip off with a coffee from Costa, as I do.
Yeah, okay.
So you're sitting there, and I was like, let me have a little look at Suttish page and see how she's doing. Answer her. She likes me to answer her, her comments as quick as I can. Really, like she gives me the paw if you're taking too long. Anyway, so I could hear this table at the side of me, and there's 3 of them, and they're all having a laugh. And I thought, what are they laughing at? So you look up, look at them, and they're looking over to these 2 women that were sat at a table opposite. One had got a phone out, videoing. The other one had stood against the Costa sign at the back at the wall. And she was doing all this kind of suggestive moving and all this dancing, and her mate was videoing her. And I thought, what? And I looked at her, and they looked at her, and she's just kind of didn't care. And she's doing all of this moving, all of this swishing and everything. And I thought, it's just such a weird thing to say. Do you know what I mean? And she did it 3 times. She was, oh, do we like that? But no, let's go again. And there was literally, it's almost like they were doing something for TikTok. I thought, what's going on? I thought to myself, does that mean I'm going to be on old TikTok then? If she was like videoing it and just trying to get it right.
Now, here's the real test.
Be in the background.
Would you want to be on a TikTok?
Maybe not, but I might have been in the background on
because
TikTok.
One of the things I'm constantly brought up about on the show and on the social medias and things that go with it, right, is that Jenny does not appear on the show. Almost like...
Yeah.
It's almost like that, well, I forget what the character's name is.
I'm the Grillers.
You're not the Grillers.
No, it's not the Grillers. Or is it...
Yeah, the Grillers have cartoons.
The Grillers have cartoons. What do Daft Punk have?
They have helmets.
Yeah, I'll just wear a helmet.
Well, I was thinking more Home Improvement, where the neighbour was always hidden behind the fence.
Oh,
you never got to see his face. Yeah, I have tried to convince Jenny, and I will stress this is International Women's Day, power to the woman and all that.
Yeah.
I would love Jenny to come on camera, and you could see her, and you could, we'd have back and forth on the conversation. It all looks great on video. But no, you've chosen not to do. It is your own decision. It's not me being egotistical and going, you should only see my face. It's nothing to do with that. Even I don't want to look at my face. Even I know what it looks like. I know where you're coming from. And hopping back into the world of accents, Sandra Owen says, I laughed when they had the big wheel in Dudley and the radio DJ called it the Dudley Eye Wheel. Dudley Wheel.
Dudley Wheel.
Dudley Eye Wheel.
Dudley Eye Wheel.
I assume that works better in the... is it Black Country in Dudley? Or is that still Birmingham?
Do you know what? I don't know.
I don't know where the line is. I know it's somewhere in the west of Birmingham. And the west of Birmingham is just a blur and a haze, and I don't know much about it. I did an event once in... Oh, what's the shopping centre near the M5? The big shopping centre. Merry Hill or whatever it's called?
There is a Merry Hill, yeah.
I did a big event there once. And that's my entire knowledge of the west of Birmingham and into the West Country. Beyond that, it's just a haze and like there's not Tamworth, way out into, towards Wales and things like that. It's just this weird grey haze blob thing that I don't know a lot about.
Ah.
I might have to visit it sometime.
Wales is lovely.
I have to check it. Wales is lovely.
We've been to Anglesey, got some nice beachy pictures.
Been to North Wales. Haven't bothered with that bit between Birmingham and South Wales.
I need to go to Barry's Island.
Why do you want to go to Barry Island?
Because that's where Gavin and Stacey was filmed, wasn't it? I'd like to go there and sit on the wall eating a bag of chips, just like Stacey did.
Well, I have just had the correction come in from Jen Flynn saying Dudley and Wolverhampton and a couple of other areas are Black Country. Right, okay, I'm going to go look at a map, find out exactly where Black Country is, and probably find out I've ended up there by accident once and not just when I went to Merry Hill for an event and sat there playing music for some weird thing, just sitting there in the corner of the shopping centre just playing music to nobody. It was the strangest day out ever. We are still being told about the West Country, and the Black Country. Better not get those two confused. You'd end up being very wrong. Apparently, the Black Country Museum is worth a visit. I've heard that over and over. Never got around to visiting it.
We should.
Yeah, and in other news, the Clumber Spaniel has won Crufts.
Oh, Clumber Park is he from?
That's where the name is derived from, yes.
It's nice there.
You like Clumber Park? Why do you like Clumber Park? It's just down the road from us. It's only a couple of miles down the road.
We took Cheryl when she came up to visit, and they loved it.
Oh, and on that note, that's about it for a wee natter. And I have pumped all the topics we've touched on tonight into the artificial intelligence and told it, come up with some clickbait titles for this show that will entice dear listeners.
Give Jen chocolate.
Yeah. No, that was not one of them. It's come up with a top 3. Number 3, War, Broccoli, Bin Man, and £2 stamps. What a week.
I like that.
Number 2, AI can do everything except understand Doric. Which, to be fair, is true. And number 1, according to the AI, all-seeing, all-knowing artificial intelligence, £2 to send a letter. Britain has lost the plot. So obviously writing for the Daily Mail for number 1.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So out of those 3, do you like those or do you think we should come up with something else?
I don't mind the first one.
The first one, War, Broccoli, Bin Men and £2 stamps. What a week.
Yeah.